From Lalate News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings Lalate.
It's a big morning here on Mornings LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In this recording, we'll go over that monthly stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we cut to the recon. Done deal. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you and the American people. It's the single biggest payout we've seen in the history of this channel. I'll be going over those checks and why you're likely to get $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000, even if more. Then we cut to the voting process. And now, breaking news on Saturday morning. We see that the path to the finish line is easier and quicker and faster than initially thought. It's coming up in the third part of this video. Then we cut to fifth stimulus more as this heats up with the raise of your benefits of SSI and SSDI just in a few days from now. And then we cut to the big money as viewers continue to get big sums of money. One viewer getting $50,000 from this channel, and you're going to meet one viewer who got over $100,000 for rent, utilities, and more. It's a big, bold, beautiful morning, and I'm excited you're here. This is Mornings LA. And congratulations, you made it to the weekend. Feel good? I hope it does. Boy, it was miserable weather here yesterday, and today it's paradise again. If you did not notice yesterday, I was not a happy camper. It was just so hot. It was muggy. It was just like DC weather. I can't stand that DC weather. That's why I'm not there, at least not yet. Don't write me in yet as a candidate. Boy, but how's the weather where you are? Jump in the live chat and tell me how the weather is where you're watching this morning. The toast is toast and the butter is butter, and I'm here, you're here. And four stimulus is heating up. Those monthly stimulus checks, we're going to go over those first. Then we cut to the recon. Done deal. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people, and I'm so excited for you because now viewers are really laser focused on the big sums of money in these stimulus packages. 20, 30, 50, $100,000 in these stimulus packages for you. And this is the biggest one we've ever seen, $3.5 trillion. There's going to be a fortune in there across the board. Then we cut to the voting process, faster, quicker than initially thought, with less resistance. What happened? I have all the breaking news happening in the third part of this video this morning. And then we got to fifth stimulus, which raises your benefits up. This is what America was looking for, and it's starting just in a few days. And finally, we go to the big money that viewers continue to get, and we thought we saw the biggest when we saw Mark at $50,000. But today, you're going to meet a new viewer, Lorraine, who tops the number at over $105,000. And this is LA, America's only 24-hour a day, 7 days a week, financial news channel in America, live in the morning and then taped in the afternoons. Coming up next is Live Mornings Crypto. Boy, did you see what happened to crypto last night? Did you see what happened to crypto today? If you didn't, I have the latest recap live on air at 9:45. Join me next for that show. And thank you for last night's Overnight Crypto being our most watched Overnight Crypto show ever. Coming up next, that is noontime at 11 a.m. You don't want to miss that show. I'm going to be live on air. There's going to be a lot of new breaking news on that as well. It's just coming in. But first, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Let's cut right to those monthly stimulus checks. Senate versus House, House versus Senate, and go over what we need to know going into this new day. House bill, monthly stimulus check. Senate proposal, monthly, but more checks on one side. House is pandemic plus 1 year, whereas Senate is just July to December. Let's go over the House bill. $1,000 a month after the first month. Senate unknown. But what on the street is the Senate would pay you this? Deliciousness. $2,000 over 6 months, $12,000. Or $1,400 over 6 months, $8,400. Well, a new report released this morning shows that consumer sentiment, consumer confidence is at its lowest level since 2001. What is 2011? What is consumer confidence? It refers to what people think about the economy going forward. So people are very skittish about the economy because they are worried about Delta. And that news comes as we look at the House bill, pandemic plus 1 year, which would likely pay more than 12 checks, which would likely pay more than 1 year. which would amount more than $13,000. Compare that to this in the Senate. I think you have an opinion. I think you have an opinion. Just vote House or Senate, and jump in the live chat and tell me where you're tuned in from this beautiful morning. Who gets this fourth stimulus check? You do. Democrats represent that. If you got a third, you get a fourth. Single individual, 75,000 or less, you get a fourth stimulus check. The Democrats represent. Married couple, 150,000 or less, the Democrats represent. You get one as well. Double it. Family of four, Democrats represent. You get a fourth stimulus check. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Democrats represent. You get a fourth stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check is not income. It's not taxable. The fourth stimulus check is the same amount for everyone, including adult dependents. And the fourth stimulus check is not a waivable check. So if you're on the beach this weekend and you own a YouTube channel, do not let a viewer trick you into waving of the check, because you may just succumb to the temptation and go, hey, check, did not wave back at me again. It's a root check. I fell for it. Don't fall for the root check. It's just not waivable, and it can't surf either. And it sort of sunburns as well, because that's why it's green. In the second half of this video, we'll be cutting to the fourth stimulus. We'll be cutting to the fourth stimulus recon. Done deal. I'm so excited for you, because viewers in the last 7 days have now realized that the fourth stimulus recon is paying fortunes of money to you. The biggest payout we've ever seen in the history of this channel, and the refocusing of viewers has come because they're seeing other viewers get these big sums of money. Then the third part of this video will go over the breaking news from Nancy, Chuck, and Jollop on the president, as the voting process will be sooner than initially thought and easier than we initially thought. I have all that coming up in the third part of this video. Then we cut to fifth stimulus, which heats up in just a few days, which raises your benefits up, SSI and SSDI. I'll explain that in the context of COLA, which released information overnight. I'll explain what COLA means as to this. And then we cut to the big money across the board that viewers are getting across the board. Money for rent, utilities. First, let's start with that right now. Get a pen and paper ready, because I want to get you some money for rent, utilities, SNAP, mortgage assistance, and more. When I first started recording these videos a few weeks ago, I said for rent, I can get you $5,000. I sort of undervalued that. So I can sort of get you a little bit more than $5,000 for rent. How much more can I get you? Are you ready for this? Bam, $27,000. Elizabeth, a Purple Hawk, got from this channel. A member, Mark, $25,000 for a Purple Hawk he got for rent. He told his neighbors about this channel. Said, watch this kid. He is the real deal. He got his neighbors $20,000 for rent. Nancy got $24,000 for rent. Richard, $22,000. And Nisi, $20,000. If you got money for any of these items, send me a private message on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'll feature your success story on camera. Gonzalez here from California got $8,000 for rent. Let's go over the other messages I'm getting. Pamela got $12,000 for rent. Carla tells me she got utilities and SNAP. Tiffany tells me she got $13,000 for rent and other items. Randy tells me he got $6,000 for rent and other items. Jennifer tells me she got $5,000 for rent and other items. And Cecilia tells me she got some money for heap. And that's a heap. Well, turning to utilities, SNAP is turning to utilities, water, gas, electric. What are the numbers viewers are getting right now? They're just enormous. Are you ready for this? Bam. Whoa. Nancy, congratulations. Incredulations. I love that new word I made up. When you say congratulations and incredible at the same time, it comes out as incredulations. Yeah, that's new. That's new for Mornings LA. Nancy, incredulations, $7,000 for utilities. Mark, incredulations, $7,500 for utilities. And Angela, $5,000 for utilities. But then when we talk about SNAP, which is money for food, viewers are getting far more than $2,000, $3,000 annualized. Are you ready for this deliciousness? Here's the deliciousness on SNAP. Bam. Oh my goodness, Louie. $18,000 he got for SNAP. John, $10,000 to $12,000, and Nancy, $5,000. And finally, the viewers who got multiple sums of money, who got the triple crown of rent, utilities, and SNAP. Let's see it. Ready? Drum roll. Oh my goodness, Nancy, $32,000 she got for rent, utilities, and SNAP. Nisi, $23,000 for rent, utilities, and SNAP. And Mark got 2 items for rent and utilities. Wow. 2 items, Mark? Wait a second. Wait, is that a mistake, Mark? That's what I said on camera for over a week. I said, Mark, what happened? Why did you only get 2 items? Did you not get the memo? You're supposed to get 3 items. I said, Mark, go get SNAP. SNAP's the easiest one. How could you miss SNAP? And so for 7 days, I said on camera, Mark, go get SNAP. And, I said go get 8,000 because I like 40,000. Don't you like 40,000? That's sort of like a lot of zeros in that number. I said, Mark, go get 40,000, get $8,000 for Snap, bring it up. But I thought maybe he'll get 5,000, 6,000. How much money do you think Mark got for Snap? He did get Snap. How much money do you think he got? 5,000, 3,000, 4,000. Well, Mark got Snap and a little bit more. He got more than 4,000. He got more than 5,000. Mark got $19,000 for Snap, bringing his grand total to $50,000 from this channel. That is the real deal. That is how you get money for these stimulus packages. That's what you and I are going to be doing under forced stimulus when it becomes law. And this is Lalate. We've been doing this since day one, getting big sums of money when things are passed. When EIDL loans and grants were passed, people's applications were locked in what I call a vortex, 331, 330, 48. People's applications were locked. So on camera, I tried to get their applications unlocked and approved. Off camera, I was doing applications in the middle of the night for months. Finally, I was doing 10 applications approved a day, upwards of 150,000 a pop. I got viewers, $25 million of EIDL loans and grants approved. Then saving their homes, their employees' homes, and their businesses. But in fall 2020, second stimulus was not coming. There was no $600 stimulus check, so I had to step forward and get money for viewers. And I got viewers $250,000 for rent, paying Tyrone, his family, for out of Boston. All the rent from December to May, or March. And now we're doing it again. The only difference is you, the Purple Hawks, the members, are doing numbers we've never seen before. And if you thought that $15,000, $20,000 is not attainable, it is. If you thought that $30,000 is unattainable, it is. And then if you thought $50,000 is not attainable, get ready for this. I introduce you to the biggest single payout ever obtained by a viewer, a Purple Hawk of this channel for rent and utilities. Are you ready? It's nearly double the amount of Mark at $105,640 from Lorraine for rent for several years into the future, food and additional items. Unbelievable. And this is LA. Get a pen and paper ready because today is your day to get this money as well. I'm going to get you some money for rent, utilities, food, internet, mortgage assistance, and more. And we're going to start with different startup items I want you to understand. First, each place has different eligibility. Number two, if you reach out to one and says no, don't worry, reach out to the next. They have their own eligibility. They also have their own pot of money. Number three, keep on pushing. Number four, every state has money. Number five, you qualify. There's no one who doesn't qualify for these things. Don't say, I don't qualify because I'm on SSI. Untrue. I don't qualify because I'm not behind on my rent. Untrue. Each place has different eligibility. Number six, listen to the keywords I say in the video because these are the keywords that are helping people get approved. Are you ready? You're going to reach out to 6 places. Here we go. Your city hall, your city house authority. Your county hall, your county house authority. Your state hall, your state house authority. Keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, or mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. And that's all you say. And there you go. You don't say words they don't know, like stimulus or Ron Portman's wonderful popularity. They don't know that. And if you got money for rent or utilities, post your success stories from the live chat right now, including Tim and Linda who got money for rent and utilities. The next pile of money is the money for Snap. Snap is money for food. Eligibility is easier than a stimulus check. Why would you not get it? You get it from Department of Agriculture. And Len Glenn got it for herself, her son, and her mom. Gail got it. Louis got $18,000. Mark $19,000. John $10,000 to $12,000. How much does it pay? A fortune. A family of 4 out of Hawaii gets upwards of $16,000 a year. Why so much money? Because of 2 what-if executive orders. One from Biden, one from Trump, that raise your benefits up 15% between now and December. So go get it. We're killing it. You're killing it. We're only, if you got Snap as well, post in the live chat. We're only 14 minutes as a video. And we've gotten $27,000 for rent, $19,000 for Snap, $9,000 for utilities, and we're just getting started. The next pile of the money is the money coming back from your states. There's incredible great news. This is the refund check for unemployment benefits due to computer error, landing by direct deposit. And can you track it? Yeah. Contact your state and say, hi, state, I'd like to track that check due to computer error. And can you, when you track it, can you turn on the computer? It just sort of helps. And then finally, the refund check coming back from IRS. This is the 2020 tax return that you paid taxes on the unemployment benefits. Margaret got it, Cod got it, Michael got it. And guess what? IRS tells us It's a waivable check. Sorry, Mitch. I know your ears just burn when you hear that word. Waivable check. Darn it. The average wave is about $1,200. There's a new wave every week. More about that in a second. But first, if you're on the live chat, post your success stories right now. 3 wonderful things happen, and actually a 4th one I'm going to reveal for the first time in this video. One of the first things that's really getting wonderful from you posting success stories is viewers are now refocusing themselves to realize that, yeah, there was a $600 second stimulus check in December of last year. And yeah, there was a $1,400 third stimulus check in January this year. But Lalate is now teaching me how to get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 from these stimulus packages. That's a lot more money. And he's teaching me how with forced stimulus, which is going to go from these prior stimulus packages of this size to this big, there's going to be a fortune of money in there for me to get. It's all application based. It's nothing where you put down the dough and say, when is it landing in my hand? I need it right now. It's application based. You qualify for it. You can get it, and you can get it. It's in every state. It's including people on SSI and SSDI. It's including people who are up to date on their bills. It's including everyone. And you've been helping people refocus, because guess what? When that $3.5 trillion of forced stimulus recon is passed, this community, people are going to pounce and get that money. Where other people are going to say, how do I do this? Well, you haven't been watching this channel. So post your success stories right now. First thing you do is you inspire people to get the sums of money. A lot of people, before they find this channel, never heard of the federal government paying for the rent. They just assume, I have expensive rent. I don't get it. That was one of the first things I had to teach people about. My rent is very expensive, so hence it won't get covered. No, that's actually untrue. I had one viewer who had $1,400 a month of rent. She got every single penny paid for. And this was in the middle of the hardest part of when no money was out there. So now you inspire people to get the money. Then you have people who never knew this money existed, like Snap. Larry Maui of Hawaii never heard of Snap. A lot of people never heard of Snap until they found this channel. And he's getting $500 a month, a person in Hawaii. Then you inspire people to get the Triple Crown, like Art Sullivan, who got 3 items, and Nisi. They inspired Nancy to get 3 items. Mark got 2. He got inspired to get 3 items because of my recordings. And then we get updated about numbers. Who knew that there's a rent into the future, not just rent into the past? So suddenly we were learning a lot more. So continue to post your success stories, because you help inspire other people. Let's go back to those unemployment benefits. Where's it landing? Direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. Can you track it? Yeah, go to irs.gov and do a transcript search. And 70% of the time it'll work. It'll reveal the tax return you filed and the taxes you paid. And then it'll reveal stuff you wish you never saw. Like when Ron Portman has his pork belly sandwiches, does he serve it with a side of Mitchell lobster? And I hope not. And finally, we'll reveal the refund check. Can we top that? Yes. As we go into the second part of your forced stimulus recon, it's starting right now. Deal done. $3.5 trillion of money is coming to you under the forced stimulus recon. Let's go back in time. We've had a first stimulus recon that was this big, a second and a third that were this big. This forced stimulus recon is this big. It's enormously bigger than anything we've ever seen before in this history of this channel, and perhaps in the history of this government. Number 2. The prior stimulus packages were nearly 90% for corporations, leaving you crumbs. This one is all money for you. So this is a lot of checks. And I'll have more about those checks for you later in this video, but it's checks for everyone. Checks for seniors, checks for workers, checks for everyone. And they're mostly application-based. And that's where the Purple Hawks soar, because you kill it when it becomes application-based. You know how to pounce and get $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 in each of these packages. How do we get to this wonderful spot? By taking roads and bridges out of there. Roads and bridges were in there, it was complicating things, and those roads and bridges were put into something called the bipartisan. And the confirmation comes from conservative publication, which says that the higher the price tag was on the recon before, the harder it was to pass. There you go, confirmation. But by allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending from the recon, roads and bridges, put in the bipartisan, it made the recon passable. It also made the bipartisan passable. Well, once the Democrats shrunk the recon by taking roads and bridges out, they were able to build the number back up. And something you're learning from this channel only is that the Senate and the House Democrats were part of the discussions with the president far into the month of July as to the price tag of the recon. So the price tag of the recon of $3.5 trillion is agreed upon from both House and Senators weeks ago. So when this lands in the House, it's an easy brainer vote because they already agreed upon the $3.5 trillion price tag months ago. They came up with it as a team. And that's what the House members wanted. Representative Reggie Torres said we have to have a larger recon. You got it. 3.5 trillion pass. Said it. Elon Omar says we have to have a larger recon, a recon that goes as far as we want it. You got it, Elon. 3.5 trillion pass. How did the Democrats do this? By protecting the recon. Because in the recon is tens of thousands of dollars of checks for you, Purple Hawks. And that's what the president told them to do, protect the recon. Schatz and Jalopal says the White House told them that the White House considers the progressive priorities in the recon the White House's priorities. So what is a recon? What is a bipartisan? What is a recon procedural? What is a recon substantive? Let me teach you all that starting right now. It's important to understand what a bipartisan is because the President of the United States has said, I must have both pieces of legislation on my table in the White House to sign. The recon, your money, and the bipartisan, not your money, the roads and bridges, at the same time. So we need to understand what both of them are, even though only our money is in the recon. Let's go over everything you know so that you are educated about the subject matter. First, we go over the terminology. So there's only two terms on this channel that I use, but let me go over the other terms in case you hear them somewhere else. Recon is your money, also called reconciliation, price tag 3.5 trillion. It's also called the budget bill, also called the spending plan, also called the Progressive Social Welfare Program plan. Bipartisan, also called infrastructure, also called roads and bridges, price tag 1.5 trillion. Okay, that's pretty easy. We actually have three bills we're dealing with. We're dealing with the recon procedural, which passed the Senate this week. Then we go to recon substantive, which is after that. And then we go to and then we're also dealing with the bipartisan. Let's compare and understand what the difference is from recon procedural and recon substantive. Okay, recon procedural is what happened this week. Recon procedural step one. It's pretty simple. It doesn't ask a lot. It basically asks only two questions. Question number one. Do you agree to do a recon at a later date of a total price tag of 3.5 trillion? I agree. And do you agree that of that 3.5 trillion, we'll give $10 to this committee in the U.S. government and $20 to that committee and $30 to this committee, etc.? I agree. That's all it says. It just says total price tag, 3.5 trillion, and then we give $10 to this committee and $20 to that committee. That's easy. Recon procedural will land in the House within days. It'll pass within 10 seconds. I'll explain to you why in just a second. So then they go and do recon substantive. What does recon substantive take care of? Well, once these committees are given $10, $20, then those committees come back and decide how to spend the money. So let's say a committee has $10 given to it. The committee will decide who gets it, when they get it, where they get it, and how they get it. That's called the recon substantive, or what many people call the final recon bill. Who writes that recon bill? It's written by House subcommittees. Under the Constitution, different subcommittees are delegated different subject matters. So, for example, House Ways and Means is responsible for writing about stimulus checks, unemployment benefits. When those subcommittees are done in the House, they combine their pieces of paper and send them up to Chuck. Let's say it's 10 subcommittees with 10 pages. Then that's 100 pages. He puts a big S on it for Schumer, for slow, for salty, sugar-coated. Laverne and Shirley? No, for Senate. But later in this video, you're going to see that maybe it's going to get an H on it. For her? No. For House. It might start on the House. How do we get to this wonderful spot? By Jalopal, who recently wrote Schumer a letter saying Chuck called the vote on the recon. Well, he's called the vote on the recon procedure and it passed. Who signed this letter? 12 House Democrats who are part of the 100+ who say they're going to give you monthly forced stimulus checks. Wow, can we top that? We can. As 7 members of the House Ways and Means Subcommittee recently wrote the president a letter saying we're going to be putting monthly forced stimulus checks in the forced stimulus package. The same subcommittee we just went over? Yeah. Purple Power, you got to push because these people are promising you those stimulus checks. Can we top that? Yes, we can. As the president did it 7 weeks ago, he went overseas for a ceremonial signature today. It was actually on a Saturday. But guess what? He signed it just into law a few days ago. What is it? It's a complicated thing that makes it easier to write the recon because this complicated thing is not in there. It's called the Global Minimum Corporate Tax Rate Minimum. Exhausting. Number one, easier to write the recon. Easy. Number two, easier to call the vote on the recon. Easier to vote on the recon and easier to pass the recon because this confusing thing is not in there. Can we top that? Yes. As we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, you're going to see breaking news on this morning's broadcast of how the recon procedural vote will be easier than thought, faster than thought, and how the recon substantive will heat up very quickly. Then we're going to learn how big sums of money are coming to you under this recon. Massive, massive sums, and how the Purple Power and the Purple Hawks have really refocused the whole universe upon this. We're going to also be going over fifth stimulus and also something wonderful. The wonderful thing also is the volunteers. If you need help with utilities, food, or internet, and you've tried to get it, always try to get it first yourself, then reach out to the volunteers. Where are they? They're in the community page. Where's the community page? Open the description of this video and click the link. It'll send you over to the community page. It's news.lalate.com/community. Once on the community page, reach out to them. They're separated from Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Here's a little bit about them. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as the breaking news on Mornings LA continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals. Reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join Lalate Daily for the excitement of the new Lalate live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings Lalate at 9 a.m. Home Lalate returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons Lalate at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on Lalate. And the toast is toast and the butter is butter, and I'm here, you're here, and it's a big morning of Mornings LA with incredible breaking news about your fourth stimulus recon. As it approaches the finish line, fortunes of money will be in there and Purple Hawks will be ready to pounce. We're going to go over all those details in the second half of this video. Then we'll go over why the path will be faster and the details will be faster across the board. But first, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. And once you're part of this family, hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Meantime, stay on this video. Next up is Mornings Crypto live on air. Join me for that big broadcast coming up right after this video. And then I'm back with you at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with Noontime, which is going to be a huge broadcast. Meantime, the president, during his run for the highest office in the land, said he was going to deliver you the raise of your benefits up if you're on SSI and SSDI. He did not deliver that. And so now the Congress is taking care of this for you. When is this heating up? In just days. It's called fifth stimulus. And fifth stimulus starts by raising your benefits up if you are on SSI, SSDI, Cadillac, sorry, SSDI, SSI, and other benefits. First, they'll start drafting the legislation in September. It'll go to a vote about November is what they represent, then apply to your benchmark in November. The benchmark will be applied in December, and then that will raise your benefits up next year. How does this work? Step one. They'll raise your benefit limits up. Then they'll remove the asset limits. They'll apply an inflationary benchmark. Then they'll remove the income exclusion, and then they'll remove the marriage penalty. Let's go over all the details of how this works starting right now. First, they're going to raise your benefits up. Who's you? You, if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad Benefits, Veterans Benefits, or SSA. That's step number one. Step number two, they'll apply a new benchmark. The new benchmark will be inflation. When will they apply that benchmark? In December. Where's inflation going? It's going to be transitory. Says Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve. What does transitory mean? A temporary spike. And then it comes back down. How big is that temporary spike? I'm reporting it's going to be 5%. Now, here's something you need to know. This week, the Social Security Administration announced that next year's benefits will go up 6%. And I've seen some people comment about that. Let's understand what that is. That's based upon the old benchmark, COLA, which is horrible. COLA's going away if they pass this law. 6% in the middle of a pandemic is Zippo after it's done nothing for many, many years. So 6% is based upon the old law, which they're trying to replace. That's COLA. So this is inflation. So let's say inflation is going to 5% next year. How does this work? First, they'll raise your benefits up lifetime. Then, one time. Then they'll apply the new benchmark. If the inflation rate is 5%, that means you'll go up another 5%, not just next year, lifetime. Because once your benefits step up, they never step down. If inflation is 2% the year after that, you'll be at +2, +5%. Then they're going to remove the asset cap, dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't have more than $3,000 on hand. It's going to go away, and you'll be able to have more than $3,000 on hand, and maybe some stimulus checks. They're going to remove the income cap, dating back to a 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to go away. Love is going to win, and you'll be able to marry your long-time love interest and no longer fear loss of benefits. You'll be able to do a pair dance at your wedding, like Rob and Sandy. And if you had your benefits cancel, they'll be restored. Meantime, the House Ways and Means Subcommittee represents there will be a fifth stimulus check. That's later next year. And elsewhere, if you're in the live chat and you've not become a member and you notice people that have Purple Hawks next to their name, what are you doing? Become a member right now by going under this video where it says join here and click the link and becoming a Purple Hawk. Here is what you need to know. Is that Purple Hawks have been killing it, because in the last week, I'm so proud of you. You've been able to refocus based upon my recordings. In fall of 2020, I said, there's a $600 stimulus check in the second stimulus package. I said, do not be focused on it, because it's going to come, you're going to spend it, and you're going to wonder where the next $600 check is. And there is no another $600 check under second stimulus. I said, there's $6,000 I can get you under second stimulus package. And that's how Tyrone and his family of four out of Boston got $15,000 for rent. Then in January of 2020, there was a $14 stimulus check. And a lot of people wanted you to track it and focus on what day and how and where it's going to come. And I said, don't be focused on it. Focus on the big sums of money that are available for everyone. I don't care if you're on Social Security. I don't care if you're caught up on your bills. I don't care if you live in the state of Mississippi or some state that you think your governor doesn't give you money. Every state has money. Every person on this channel, nearly every person on this channel qualifies for the sums of money. And you have been killing it. Purple Hawks, were launched in January to 2020 to show you that, yeah, there's a $14 stimulus check, but I think you can get $14,000 from this third stimulus package. And now Purple Hawks are getting not $14,000. They're getting $20,000. They're getting $25,000. They're getting $27,000 for rent. They're getting $32,000 for multiple sums of money. They're getting $50,000. They're getting $100,000. And guess what? When fourth stimulus becomes law, that is a stimulus package, not this size from where people got $40,000 from this channel, but this size, the big sums of money will be there for you to apply. Because remember, these are application-based, and you're going to pounce and get all that money with me together. And there we go. So consider becoming a Purple Hawk. And with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, starting right now. Deal done. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to the American people under the fourth stimulus recon. And what I'm so excited about the viewers of this channel is that they've learned very well over the last 7 days that fourth stimulus recon is going to provide you fortunes of checks that you can get with the same skill set you got this $10, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 under third stimulus. They're mostly going to be application checks in there. But while the first stimulus package was this big, second was this big, third was this big, this one's this big. And while the previous stimulus package was nearly 90% for corporations, this one's all for you. But most of the time, the money will not be for donut people. I have a donut in my hand. When is my check coming in my hand? I'm a lazy. Get that check in my hand. No. Purple Hawks pounce. They pick up the phone. They call. They say, where is my money? Where is this? Where is my rent because of COVID? Where's my utility because of COVID? And that's how they're getting big sums of money. $3.5 trillion of checks was the culmination of entire generation of effort by Bernie Sanders. Imagine as a culmination of entire effort. It's so many checks that the Republicans are furious about it because they call it spending out of control, a progressive spend day where they're spending fortunes of checks for people. They call them welfare checks. They have every disparaging word they have. But the reason why I bring this up to you very simply is it's checks. It's lots and lots and lots of checks for you that as a purple hawk, you can pounce. If you want to be a donut guy and say, I don't want it unless it's automatic and it lands in my hand, then otherwise I don't want it, then fine. Hand it over to someone else that wants it, because there's a lot of them. While we don't have the bill yet, we have proposals of what is recommended to be in the bill, and here are some of the checks. Free school meals for all checks, tax break checks, cheaper prescription medication checks, immigration reform checks, farmers checks, lots of free internet checks across the country, and lots of checks for my workers and my seniors. First checks for workers, including collective bargaining checks, independent contractors checks, union checks, and lots of checks for my seniors, including lowering the eligibility age, dental vision checks, and hearing care checks. As you see, those are all application-based checks. And as a Purple Hawk, you've learned the skill set of how to get $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 from this channel as early as when we started covering this. I think it was in October of last year. So you've been doing this for a few months. And if you've been able to get $5,000 under second stimulus or $15,000 on the third stimulus, get ready to get $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on the fourth stimulus, because there's a lot of money in here. Now let's go over the bills. Recon procedural passed the Senate this week. Recon procedural basically only asked two questions. How much, $3.5 trillion, and how is this dispersed? $10 to this committee, $20 to this committee. Well, the great news is that this will pass on the House side in a blink of the eye. Yesterday, I reported that there was some resistance. I went back and looked at the reporting, and the resistance was not so much about the recon. It was that to do the bipartisan before the recon, which is not good either. Remember, the president says the following message. You have to give him recon and roads and bridges on his desk at the same time. He can't get just one, or he's not going to sign one. So you have to hope that he gets both of them at the same time. So at no time should you disparage roads and bridges, and at no time should we disparage recon. We have to have both of them at the desk at the same time. Number two, Nancy Pelosi confirms again in new reports this week, reiterating her prior reports, which is recon's going first. We're not doing roads and bridges first. Meaning I'm not going to pass the roads and bridges and then go home and not do anything. We're doing them together and with recon first. Number three, the Democrat caucus of the House confirms that they are doing recon first for voting. They're not going to do bipartisan. Actually, they're not going to do roads and bridges. They're going to do recon first because it's more important. All right, now let's go over voting dates. There's new indication, great news today, that the dates are sooner. And this is after I just told you that it's going to be easier. So let's go over the dates. And in this graphic where you see a star, it is something proposed. 823, recon procedural, which just passed the Senate, will be approved in a vote over in the House. Recon procedural goes for vote in the House on 823rd, confirms Steny Hoyer. Then Chuck Schumer confirms that on 9/15, recon substantive will go for a vote. Why is there a star next to the H? Because initially it was thought to be in the Senate, but there's a new report over this weekend that says that considering starting on the House. I love that idea. Why? Because the legislation is rich in the House subcommittees. Number two, the House members give more money. Number three, the House members have more progressives who spend a lot more money. Number four, I like starting at the House because they can get it right, and then if it needs to get even amplified more, we got the vote-a-rama in the Senate after that. 9:30 is a proposed date. That's why it's a star, asterisk, a proposed date to have the final vote on the recon done. Okay, so what is then next? So what is next is the recon substantive subcommittees have to put together the language and put that up to a bill format. Now, here's where you have to push Purple Power, and you've been doing a great job in the last 48 hours. You have to push because these Democrats represent that they're giving certain sums of money to you. You have to push and ensure they keep their promise. And that's why I brought back on Thursday Seats for Stimulus. What is Seats for Stimulus? It's a social media campaign I launched last year, which basically says, give us our money the right way or we're taking your seat. And guess what? It's going viral again. So get on social media with the hashtag Seats for Stimulus, spelled out that way, typed that way all together. And If you look at broadcast media this weekend, all the articles are talking about the 6 seats up for re-election in November, right when this is a big topic of discussion. Why is this big? Because these people are trying to get reelected right now, right this week in August. And 6 House seats would change which party controls the House. So not only are 6 members trying to fight to keep their seat, but also those 6 seats will determine if the House stays Democratic or goes Republican. Then next fall is 34 seats of 100 in the Senate, which is more than 30%. So you need to push purple power with those seats for stimulus. Finally, I'm really, really excited for how viewers have been able to refocus in the last few days. You see, when people are getting $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $50, $100,000 from items that are in third stimulus, that are application-based, that they're winning. As a purple hawk, they're understanding, wait a second, I got my $14 stimulus check, but I need more money now. And LH showing me that there's tens of thousands of dollars that is application-based in all these stimulus packages. I never knew that. I need to get that money. Well, when we get to forced stimulus becoming law, it's going to be that on steroids. It's going to be that on protein shakes. It's going to be enormous. It's absolutely fortunes and fortunes and fortunes of checks for the American people, many of which are application-based. And so what you have been excellent at doing is refocusing and understanding that you can't be a donut guy. You can't hold the donut and say, I don't qualify for anything. Untrue. I'm on SSI. I don't qualify for anything. Untrue. I'm up to date on my rent. I don't qualify for anything. Untrue. I don't have kids. I don't qualify for anything. Untrue. Everyone has now helped each other really well. I see people in the live chat say, it's untrue that it's only for children. It's untrue that if you're on Social Security, you don't qualify for anything. And now people are realizing, wait a second, let me get these big sums of money. And by getting these big sums of money on the third stimulus, it does not preclude you or prevent you from getting the money on the fourth stimulus. In fact, it's great news because it prepares you to get used to doing this, because when fourth stimulus comes along, everyone else is going to say, there's $3.5 trillion of money in there. How do I get it? Well, come over to Lalate and the viewers will show you how to get it. And with that, I'll see you next on Mornings Crypto starting at 9:45, live on air, as crypto is going through the roof. But why is Saturday going down in the morning? And then we cut to mornings down to noontime Lalate at 11 a.m. I look forward to seeing you live on air. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers on YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Stay informed, stay focused. Have a beautiful morning. I'll see you in just 3 minutes as Mornings Crypto starts.